It is 7 o'clock exactly, and I'm pleased to call to order the February regular meeting of ANC 5F. My name is Joe Bishop Henchman, Chair of the Commission. I welcome you if you're here in person or attending virtually. In just a moment, we'll have public comment. This is an opportunity for anyone to speak for up to 2 minutes to the full commission. If you're in the room, I'll ask you to raise your hand and we'll call on you. If you're participating virtually, we'll ask you to use the raise hand feature. But we'll get to that in just a moment after a roll call. So let me start by calling the roll. Commissioners, please say if you are here. Commissioner Jennifer Anderson.
I'm present and on camera.
Yeah. Commissioner Joe Bishop Henchman, that's me, I'm here. Commissioner Mark Galvan.
I'm here, present.
Commissioner Julia Hedlund.
Here.
Commissioner Nicole Jones.
Here.
Commissioner Rusani.
Present.
Commissioner Patricia Williams. All right, we do have a quorum, so now we'll proceed. We'll start with public comment. Once again, if you're in the room, raise your hand and we'll call on you for up to 2 minutes. If you're online, use the raise hand feature and we'll call on you. Yes, ma'am, if you give the your name and then you have 2 minutes.
Okay, thank you very much. My name is Chris Riddio. I'm here with Sidewalk Palooza, which is going to be held March 21st to 29th this year. And our website is sidewalkpalooza.org. What this is an effort to try and identify hazards in the sidewalks that might trip somebody up, or if you're using a cane like I do sometimes, or in a wheelchair, it might not be possible to get around the city very well. And so what we're asking for is for people to volunteer to host an event during that week. It could be just a walk. You get together with some of your friends, walk around, see what problems there might be. Or you might want to do a big block party and get whole groups of people going around, anything in between. I have a few pieces here in my hands, which I'll leave for you to hand out that give more details about it. And you can also get more information on hosting from the website. And I think that's all that I have time to say. I appreciate your giving me that time, and I'm happy to answer any questions. Or if anybody wants to sign up now, go for it.
Use 1 minute of your 2 minutes if you want to do questions or say anything more.
Sure. Everybody has questions. I'm happy to try and answer them.
I have a question.
Commissioner Hedlund, and then Commissioner Jones.
So do you have like a checklist, or do you have like a reporting template?
Yes, on the website, you'll see some of that information. So we have some basic information about what we're looking for in the events. And then we also have some resources on if you find a hazard, where do you report it? How do you report it? Things like that. So that's all on the website.
Commissioner Jones?
That was my same question. Thank you.
Good.
15-second close.
Thank you all. Again, I appreciate being given the time. I will leave these
Thank you.
up here with you all.
And we'll scan these and send them out to everybody.
Okay, great. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
I unfortunately do have to leave to go to another meeting, so.
Busy person today.
Yes.
Thank you.
All right. Anyone else wish to participate in public comment? All right, Commissioner Williams, present. Any further for public comment? All right, I'll close public comment and I'll move to the next item, which is response to public comment from commissioners. If any commissioner wants to respond to anything that was said.
Yeah, just thank you for marshaling Sidewalk Palooza. I know folks have done it every year. I've participated a few years. It's a good way to get people out and getting used to our systems of filing these reports, and really just considering that we can make the sidewalk better for everyone. It's an important piece of our public infrastructure. So thank you.
Thank you.
All right, thank you. All right, moving to the next item, which is approval of the agenda. Commissioners, I distributed this agenda a week ago. It's available on our website at anc5f.com. Copies are available on the table in the back there, as well as they're on if you're a commissioner, this was distributed in front of you. I've endeavored to include everything that was noticed. If I missed anything, it was inadvertent. Commissioner Headland asked to add a late item, so we'll deal with that in just a moment, but want to, actually, we'll deal with it right now, actually. So you want to amend to add this letter. I'll let you talk about what it is.
Sure. I had a late addition to the consent agenda, which is essentially a cover letter to Councilmember Parker's office, summarizing some of ANC 5F's budget priorities for this budget season.
So Commissioner Headland moves to add letter to Councilmember Parker on fiscal 26 budget priorities as item 10I. Is there a second?
Could I make a counter proposal?
You can.
Could I propose adding it to the action agenda, because I would like to add an element to that. Just skip the song dance.
That can still be done, but it will skip a step. So if you're okay with that,
Yeah.
to add it to item 11B on the agenda, is there a second?
Second.
Well, you moved it. So. All right, seconded by Commissioner Anderson. Is there?
That was Jones.
Sorry, Commissioner Jones. Is there any objection to adding that item to the action agenda? So not approving it, just adding it to the agenda. Hearing no objection, it is added. Are there further changes to the agenda? Hearing none, I'll move that we adopt the agenda as amended. Is there a second?
Seconded.
Seconded by, I hear a second. Is there any objection to the adoption of the agenda as amended? Hearing none, the agenda is adopted. Next item is the approval of the minutes. I may get this wrong. Either Commissioner Jones or Commissioner Sani distributed these. I don't know whether it was our outgoing secretary or incoming secretary, but maybe it was both of you. I don't know. But whoever it was, if you want to speak briefly about it and any corrections that you received on it.
Commissioner Jones, is that you?
I think I sent them along, and then Commissioner Sani must have reviewed them and gone through. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay. I will pass it off to you.
All right, so they were distributed in advance. They're also linked on our website. Are there any corrections that anyone has to the minutes? Is there any objection to the adoption of the minutes as submitted? Hearing none, the minutes are adopted. Next item on the agenda is to hear announcements from representatives of elected officials. Every month we have on the agenda representatives from the Mayor's Office of Community Relations and Ward 5 Council Member Zachary Parker's office. If either of them are here, we'll recognize you now. Either of them here?
I do not see.
We don't think we see you, but if you're on, either of you, raise your hand, use the raise hand feature, or, stand up and wave. All right, not seeing them. If they do show up later in the meeting, maybe we'll go back to them. Moving on to officer reports. We'll start with Chair, which is me. I just wanted to highlight that Mayor Bowser will be hosting a budget forum on Thursday, February 26th in Union Market. The address is 1309 5th Street Northeast. It's 5:30 p.m. on Thursday, February 26th. If you've ever wanted to tell the mayor what you think of it or what ideas you have, she's not quite coming to Eckington, but just across the tracks, not too far away. So I encourage people to check that out. I think that's, I could, like all of us, I'm sure I could talk a lot about snow and trash, but I'm not going to do that. I'll leave that there. Vice Chair, Commissioner Galvan.
I have nothing to report. Thank you very much.
All right. Treasurer, Commissioner Headland.
I don't have any updates except to say that we do have funds available for community grants. So I'm happy that Lee Montessori is here tonight to speak about that and would open it up to other organizations or neighbors.
Thank you. Secretary, Commissioner Sani.
Nothing to report.
All right. That will conclude officer reports then. Next item is announcements for commissioners, from commissioners, excuse me, not for commissioners. Any commissioner having an announcement they want to share, we'll recognize you. Just use the raise hand feature. Or I think they can unmute themselves, right?
Commissioners, yeah.
Commissioner Headland.
I'll just share that, I don't know if people were following the last 2 weeks, Congress was getting involved in our budget and actually tax legislation again, unfortunately. DC last year passed legislation decoupling from the federal tax changes just for the portion of our state taxes. And then Congress tried to basically tell us that we couldn't do that, which I think is unprecedented, at least in a tax matter. They do have a 30-day window to review and approve or disapprove our legislation here. So what happened is they eventually passed it, but they did it on the 31st day. And so seemingly it does not, they ran out of time to comment on our legislation. And our council has gone ahead with that interpretation, which I think is great because tax season is already underway. People have already filed. But I'm just flagging it because it could come up again. And it's just another example of kind of congressional meddling, unfortunately, in our city's business. And I lobbied Congress a couple times over 2 weeks to try to speak with senators and representatives about the issue, and they basically, treated us with, utter contempt, I would say, disregard, which was disappointing. But I think it's important that we went. So just a little update. And then at the next meeting, I've invited a DOB representative to come. So if anybody has questions about building permits, illegal construction, vacant properties, you can ask them at the next meeting. That's all.
Thank you. Other commissioners? I'll share that we've gotten an update from DDOT on the flooding spot on the Metropolitan Branch Trail under New York Avenue. It's kind of not a plan, but like a plan for a plan. So they're going to be putting out for a contractor bid later this month to evaluate the drainage situation there and come up with a recommended solution that they hope to construct by the fall. So we'll keep an eye on it. I know people have had to do some leaping and dancing around a little bit of an ice rink that formed there last week. And I want to thank Noma Bid District for sending out teams of people to help clear it and make sure that the trail remained passable. Additionally, I want to especially thank my colleague, Commissioner Anderson, who's participating virtually tonight. I feel like I worked with almost all of you over the last month on trash and ice stuff, but Commissioner Anderson especially, we worked hand in hand on a lot of the streets that were skipped on plowing and getting their trash picked up. And I think we're finally at the place where everybody's gotten their trash picked up and their street plowed. Thank you. Other commissioners? Commissioner Sani.
Yeah, wanted to co-sign what we've seen. Obviously, the city's snow response was lacking. Over in Edgewood, we've had similar issues. Thankfully, all the streets ended up getting plowed. Trash pickup was finally happening, and alleys were also getting cleared. Snow removal will be on our agenda today, and the Transportation Public Space Committee is planning to work on resolutions next month to really further underscore what we've seen to try and lead to systemic change or ask the city for systemic change in our leaders. So if you are interested or you have thoughts on the matter, please share them with me or any member of the tax committee, or you're welcome to attend our meeting, which is currently scheduled for the first Monday of March at 7:30 p.m.
Thank you, Commissioner. Other commissioners? Oh, Commissioner Anderson.
Yeah, I just wanted to co-sign what everyone said and really thank Commissioner Bishop Henchman for kind of leading the charge in helping us really stay on top of the city agencies, the district agencies, apologies, throughout this snow clearing endeavor. Really, I know that there was a lot of frustration amongst our neighbors on that front. So thank you for helping us stay on top of it and letting us know and being our eyes on the ground so that we could kind of elevate and continue to escalate those issues.
Thank you, Commissioner. Other commissioners? Commissioner Jones?
I just echoing what others said, but also wanting to acknowledge that some neighbors had moved or reached out about alley cleaning. And since it's not done by the city, I recognized some neighbors were able to pile together funds to clear their alley and contract that out, while other neighbors were kind of left struggling, trying to figure out commutes and how to basically dig themselves out of an alley. So thank you for your work on that. And I think there are several resolutions that address this, and I want to thank you all for working together on that. So I close.
Thank you, Commissioner. Other commissioners? All right, that concludes announcements from commissioners. Next item is presentations relating to agenda items. And we have one from Lee Montessori Family Teacher Association on a grant proposal they've submitted, a school community for everyone. Before we go to them, Commissioner Sani, I think this is your sponsored item.
Yes.
I don't know if you want to do any introduction or summary, especially kind of where we're at on the grant proposal.
Yeah, so Lee Montessori is a school in Edgewood, despite the name saying Brookland. They're off 4th Street, so I think technically in Commissioner...
Happens a lot to you guys,
yeah,
doesn't it?
technically, and I think Commissioner Jones is SMD, and as the name suggests, they're a Montessori school. They are obviously within our SMD boundaries, but one person presenting here is my neighbor Nick, but folks are very much inbound, and these are residents of ANC 5F. I've been working with them to get their very minimal work to get their proposal together and sent over to OANC for their additional sign off to validate that things look kosher on their end. That was sent over a week ago. OANC is, I think, between oversight season and like yesterday holiday, still kind of digging themselves out. I'm planning on following back up with them, but as of now, OANC has not yet stamped or approved or disapproved of this anyway. So keep still waiting for the response there. But without, and if you have questions on that, we can discuss that, I think, during the action agenda. But without much further ado, we have representatives from Lee Montessori. And will it just be you, or we still have some?
Emily is online.
Yeah, we can unmute her. And okay, all right, you have 10 minutes.
Okay, thank you. My name is Nick Frazier. I am also on the TAPS committee. But today I'm here as the president of the Family Teacher Association of Lee Montessori. I am representing both the 5 board members, but also the 200 odd families at Lee Montessori, and I'm making this grant request. The grant request is a school community for everyone, and the focus is on disability inclusive kind of social emotional awareness. So Lee Montessori has a strong record in that. It's something they are known for among the public charter schools in the area. And so the request for this particular thing is to support. Lee Montessori also has a long track record of doing kind of family education nights on a variety of subjects. And because budgeting is budgeting, some projects don't get cut on the floor. And so this is one they've had, I think, for a while, and they want to do more of this kind of disability awareness for the community and for the families, both an event to directly discuss and talk about strategies and build kind of awareness and some momentum on it, and then also for books to help families kind of talk about it at home. And let me turn it over to Emily for some color commentary.
Thank you, Nick. Good evening, commissioners. Hello, community members. Excited to be here tonight to discuss this with you. To give you some background on our curriculum, we use Montessori, which is already an inclusive type of educational pedagogy for children. But we wanted to strengthen our social emotional curriculum back in 2019 when we really saw some gaps. And we developed our own in-house curriculum with teachers and leadership and various community members, and we renamed our SEL SEAL, and that stands for Social Emotional Equity Learning. And it's our way of addressing anti-bias and anti-racist issues within communities. And so we come to you today asking for approval of this grant so that we can continue to research and develop and strengthen our current practices. And also, as Nick mentioned, bring in the community to participate and learn alongside of us. We are always so thrilled to engage with families across Ward 5, in particular Brookland and Edgewood. We find that this is a really wonderful way to, again, strengthen in-house, but then bring in the community to strengthen inclusive community norms, so to speak. So we are excited. We would love to host an event. We are planning on spending some time at the Brookland Farmers Market this spring, connecting with community members. And so we look forward to receiving this grant so we can, again, continue to strengthen not just within our own walls, but support families, growing families within the community, and really highlighting the inclusiveness of children with disabilities and diverse learning needs.
You can tell which of us does this professionally, which of us is strictly amateur.
That's perfect.
I think that's all we have to say unless there's questions.
All right,
Yeah.
let's open up for questions. Commissioner Sunny.
One thing I wanted to just because obviously this is the first time some folks are hearing, what is the actual program that the grant would go towards? Obviously what form would this program kind of take? What is the money going towards essentially?
I'll take it. So we are looking both to, as I mentioned, spend some time researching, but then also creating resources that can go home for families. So books for children, so that when we spend time talking about this at school and at events, that it can be reinforced elsewhere. And then shared throughout the community if families weren't there. And also, as I mentioned, having a family event, come into our school, see what it is that we're doing, come spend some time learning and just engaging with the community as a whole.
Other questions? Not seeing any questions, but they do have 5 minutes left.
Nothing. I think getting out ahead of, when we get to the points in the agenda, because OANC has not responded yet, and we would technically have to suspend our rules in order to approve a grant off cycle, i.e. normally we're present in February, award in March. Because we don't have a sign-off from OANC, I don't think we're fully comfortable at basically doing the rule suspension. So I think we can just do this in normal grant cycle. So our grants work in such a way where present in the month before we do the vote, so people have a chance to go over the finances.
Which you've just now done.
Yeah. So I think I would as we get to the action agenda, I would maybe propose we defer this until March because without the ANC approval, we want to make sure like we're being responsible with the money here. But hopefully in that time, folks will have a chance to kind of opine on that, or hopefully come in and fully support it and vote next month.
Sure, we're comfortable with it.
Yep, wonderful.
Commissioner Williams.
Okay, maybe I didn't hear it, or maybe I'm not understanding it, but I read through the proposal. And is this for a community event or an inside event? I mean, it's for the students only.
Both and. So we want to engage the community and continue
Hold on.
to strengthen our curriculum, but also to bring the community members in and say, hey, come learn alongside us. This is what we're doing that we think is really great and special, and we don't want to just keep it with our students. We want to share it with the entire community.
Okay, thank you.
Other questions? All right, anything further you want to say?
No, thank you for the consideration.
All right, thank you for joining us this evening. Yes. All right, that brings us to our consent and action agenda. We have a consent agenda, which are items that we vote on as a group, and any commissioner may remove any item from the consent agenda and place it on the action agenda. I'm going to read out what's currently on the consent agenda and then ask one final time if any commissioner wants to remove any items to the action agenda. So on the consent agenda, we have resolution supporting the Strengthening Air Pollution Permitting and Amendment Act by Commissioner Sani. B, the resolution thanking WMATA for maintaining emergency services during the January 2026 snowstorm by Commissioner Bishop-Henchman. C, resolution to request improvements to snow removal practices, Commissioner Bishop-Henchman. D, resolution to request continued budget support for the Eckington Edgewood Library, also by me, and I'm going to go ahead and remove that one from the consent agenda. There's an amendment the Library Task Force recommended on it. E, resolution to request continued budget support for public restrooms. F, resolution calling for adoption of safe and open digital platforms by Commissioner Sani. G, resolution to request increased budget support for the Harry Thomas Recreation Center renovation by Commissioner Headland. H, resolution to request continued budget support for the Noma Station third entrance, Commissioner Bishop-Henchman. And then that's it, because the letter is already on the action agenda. So currently on the consent agenda, we have A, B, C, E, F, G, and H. Does any commissioner want to pull any of those off the consent agenda to the action agenda? Going once. Going twice. All right, we will then vote on those items together as the consent agenda. So this is a vote to adopt en bloc as a group. Items A, on strengthening air pollution, B, thanking WMATA, C, snow removal, E, public restrooms, F, safe and open digital platforms, G, Harry Thomas, H, Noma Station, and I will call the roll. Starting with myself, Commissioner Bishop-Henchman, I vote aye. And the vote, by the way, is aye to adopt the consent agenda, no to not adopt the consent agenda. Commissioner Galvan.
Aye.
Commissioner Galvan votes aye. Commissioner Headland.
Aye.
Commissioner Headland votes aye. Commissioner Jones.
Aye.
Commissioner Jones votes aye. Commissioner Sani.
Aye. Straight up.
Commissioner Sani votes aye. Commissioner Williams.
Aye.
Commissioner Williams votes aye. Commissioner Anderson.
Aye.
Commissioner Anderson votes aye. I count 7 ayes, 0 no. Consent agenda is adopted. We'll now proceed to the action agenda, which there are currently 3 items on it. First is the grant application, and Commissioner Sani indicated you may have a motion to postpone on that. I'll let him make that in a moment if that's what he's doing. And then item B, which is the letter that, actually, why don't we do the library one first, since we'll need that one before we do the letter, and then C, the letter by Commissioner Hedlund. So we'll start with 11A, grant application by Lee Montessori Brookland Family Teacher Association. Commissioner Sani.
Yes, so as mentioned earlier, because we don't yet have the sign off from ANC, and this is technically an off cycle for grant approval, I would like to pull this off and put it into our March meeting agenda for approval within the cadence of the normal grant life cycle. Between now and then, the applicants and I will work with OANC to get final sign off there.
Commissioner Sani moves to postpone this item, the grant application, to the March 17th meeting. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Commissioner Hedlund. Is there objection to the motion to postpone? Hearing none, the motion to postpone is adopted. Item 11B is the resolution to request continued budget support for the Eckington Edgewood Library. So I circulated this to the commissioners and to the community, and then fortunately, the Library Task Force met after that date and really liked it. If they're here, they can speak for themselves, but suggested adding two phrases, and if you're in the room, you have that distributed in front of you. So the amendments would be to the second and third resolve clauses. So to the second resolve clauses, the second resolve clause, adding a reference to tax increment financing. So DCPL needs more funds for the lease to open a library, and this resolution indicates our openness to a community benefits agreement, and the suggestion from the task force was to add tax increment financing as to the things we're open to. This wouldn't be the first time. You may remember we've endorsed tax increment financing for the Bryant Street development in the past. And then in the third resolve clause, adding the phrase access to Metro and the Metropolitan Branch Trail and to the list of things that we want to make sure this library is compatible with and the amenities for the community. Was not intended to delete those things or to not include those things. So I consider both of these amendments as friendly and enhancing the resolution. But let me first move the resolution and then move these amendments on behalf of the Library Task Force. So I've moved those amendments. Is there a second to amending the resolution to add those two additions?
Seconded.
It's been moved and seconded. Is there any objection to those amendments? Hearing none, the resolution has been amended. We're back to the overall resolution to request continued budget support for the Eckington Edgewood Library. Is there any discussion?
I have a question.
Commissioner
Where
Williams.
exactly is this location for this new library?
It's a good question. I'll take it. It's as of yet undetermined. The DC Public Library, which of course is a district agency, has narrowed it down to two tentative locations, one being 600 Rhode Island Avenue Northeast, the other being 605 Rhode Island Avenue Northeast. And I'm going to mix up which one is which, but one of them is the Bryant Street development, and then one of them is the future development across the street in what is now the AutoZone area. And our last update that we got from DC Public Library is that they are involved in negotiations with both of those developers. To my knowledge, the ANC has not been included in those negotiations yet, and part of this resolution is saying, hey, we should include us.
Okay, because prior to the redistricting, that library was supposed to go over there under the new development where AutoZone is. So when did Bryant Street become an option?
So the resolution walks through some of the history. In 2021 is when we actually not we, the Acton Civic Association, as well as some others, advocated for funding for it. And then in 2024, DCPL said they had 5 potential locations that they were looking at. And then just over a year ago in early 2025, they presented to us here at the commission that they were down to 2 sites. So I don't know if, well, I know it was never just that one AutoZone. At one point they were talking about maybe, or at least it was a rumor in the community, that maybe the fire station site, which is just west of the AutoZone, might be a location for it, but that's, from my understanding, no longer in the running. Other discussion?
So last question.
Commissioner Williams.
That development fell through?
I don't think any of these 3 developments we've talked about have fallen through. Some of them may be a little bit on ice because of the economic environment. But I think they're all still technically active.
Because if they technically active, coming from 5E, the library was supposed to have been included in that development. That's why I was asking the questions. Thank you.
Thank you. Other discussion? Seeing none, we'll proceed on a vote on the resolution as amended. This is the resolution to request continued budget support for the Eckington Edgewood Library. And I will call the roll. Commissioner, if the vote is aye to approve the resolution as amended, no to not approve the resolution as amended. Commissioner Galvan.
Aye.
Commissioner Galvan votes aye. Commissioner Headland.
Aye.
Commissioner Headland votes aye. Commissioner Jones.
Aye.
Commissioner Jones votes aye. Commissioner Sani.
Aye.
Commissioner Sani votes aye. Commissioner Williams.
No.
Commissioner Williams votes no. Commissioner Anderson.
Aye.
Commissioner Anderson votes aye. Commissioner Bishop Henfman votes aye. 6 yes, 1 no. The resolution is adopted. Next item, sorry, I've lost my agenda. Letter. What's it called? Letter to Councilmember Parker, ANC 5F feedback on fiscal 26 budget priorities. Commissioner Headland.
Yes, I was just hoping to do a cover letter since we had a number of resolutions making recommendations on budget priorities for the ANC, and so I had drafted this letter with the resolutions that we have as a commission seen so far related to the budget, but I am more than open to include all of the budget priorities that ANC 5F wants to put forward to the council member's office. And this is just in light of the fact that we're in budget season right now. So.
Thank you, Commissioner Headland. Is there discussion, amendments, debate? Commissioner Sani.
I would like to propose an amendment to highlight a resolution that ANC 5F passed last year in ANC 5F 25085, where we requested that DPR specifically earmark a budgeted item and move forward with the procurement and installation of shade structures at Edgewood Rec Center, specifically around the park and splash pad there, both of which are exposed to the sun, and for the children in the splash pad, probably less problematic, but for the parents and caregivers at the rec center can be a challenge. And so we passed that. After talking to DPR, they actually suggested we turn this into an earmarked budget request to the council. And so I would like to propose an amendment to add that resolution from last year as an attachment to our packet. And then I have text that I would like to read in for the cover letter as well.
Why don't you read the text? Yeah.
Yes. The headline should be budget for shade structures at Edgewood Recreation Center. Families have a need for shade at the park and splash pad outside the recreation center. We request $100,000 be budgeted for the procurement and installation of shade structures for those seeing to for those families and caregivers.
Commissioner Sani has moved to amend the resolution to add that language regarding shade structures at Edgewood Rec
Yep.
Center. Is there a second? I will second your motion, Commissioner. We're now in debate on the on that amendment. If you want to speak to it further.
Yeah, no, the number has come out of some early talks with DPR where they expressed how surprisingly expensive it is for these things, just because of the architecture of it, how these have to kind of be excavated a bit for counterweight and such. And there are also some concerns that we've seen with Tanner Park, with the right sort of structure being in play. So this is on the upper end of the ballpark of what DPR felt such a thing could cost without necessarily committing to a budgetary line item would be.
All right. Discussion on the amendment.
I will just add that I think it's great to highlight this for DPR, and I hope it might make them think more deeply about these issues in the future, especially given global climate change, urban heat, and like the new reservoir rec center has the same issue, I think, lack of shade structures. So I think it's good to keep highlighting this for DPR. Maybe they will start to change the way they design community spaces.
Thank you, Commissioner. Other commissioners on the amendment? Commissioner Jones.
Not specific to this amendment, but another potential amendment. Can I?
Why don't we resolve this, unless it has to do with heat structures or Edgewood Rec, why don't we resolve this one first and then we'll come back to that. Other discussion on the Edgewood shade structures? All right, seeing none, we'll vote on the amendment. This one we can do as a voice vote. To adopt the amendment offered by Commissioner Sani. I'm not going to reread it unless somebody wants me to reread it. Your vote is aye. To not adopt the amendment, the vote is nay. All those in favor of the amendment say aye.
Aye. Aye.
Thank you. All those opposed say no. The amendment is adopted. Back to the full resolution. Commissioner Jones.
Just a clarification. So I think I was looking for the numbered resolution that we had written last year to request funds for repairing. I remember there was like lights on the Metropolitan Branch Trail, but also this, like the flooding under New York Avenue. Is that already obligated?
I can take this one. Yeah, that's already obligated. So we're going to be in a bad spot if we're in the new budget and it still hasn't been done. But
got it.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you.
So be on this one. All right. Other on the full resolution, other amendments or discussion? Can I ask you a question?
Mm-hmm.
Do we want to send this to the mayor too, or just to Councilmember Parker?
Sure. Yeah, I welcome your recommendations. I'm going to send it to.
Maybe I'll do a minor amendment on that in a moment, but Commissioner Galvin.
Yeah, no, I first of all, thanks so much, Commissioner Headland, for taking this on, and for Commissioner Sani, your suggestion. I totally agree with that. I think one of the things I'm noticing is that DPR seems to be mismanaging their ability to maintain equipment in the facility, and that the facility is actually in pretty rough condition. I've had a couple neighbors that said like the treadmills have been out of service for several months. The bikes have been out for an entire year, just not being repaired or replaced at all. I don't know that in the budget cycle. I really think it's probably an issue of management and not an issue of budget request to ask for more money for those things. But I'm just curious if anyone has any insight on how we kind of advocate for that in this case. I don't want to just give them the money if they're going to reallocate it somewhere else in their own maintenance budget. But just curious if you had any insight, Commissioner Benjamin, on that front, or Commissioner Headland.
I can start and then you can add if you want. I don't know whether this is Commissioner Headland's intention, but like I see a lot of what's going in this letter as like the Eckington and Edgewood specific budget asks as opposed to the more systemic citywide things. Because obviously we've done stuff on rats, we've done stuff on guns, we've done stuff on today on snow removal that aren't going in this. I don't know whether that's because we forgot about them or if it's because we're trying to keep this limited to the stuff that really no one, if we don't advocate it for it, no one else is going to advocate for it. And it doesn't mean we can't advocate for those other things. All those resolutions that we've passed authorizes us to advocate for them. So that would be so I'm not too worried that those aren't in here, but Commissioner Headland, it's your letter. I'll let you speak to what your intent was.
Yeah, that's just it. It was really things in our ANC, that we want to specifically advocate for after hearing, other residents interested in it. With DPR maintenance, though, did we miss the oversight hearing? I feel like that may have.
I know I did. Yeah.
Yeah. It's a good point, though. I mean, because they put in these nice facilities and then they don't maintain them, and then you're in 5 to 10 years, you're back with a rec center that is like crappy.
In rough shape. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Well, I don't have any specific amendments, and I think probably the best case is the budget forum that you had mentioned earlier, Commissioner Bishop Henchman. So, okay, great. Thank you.
All right. Thank you, Commissioner. Other amendments or discussion?
Leading into your
Commissioner Sonny.
Leading into your potential amendment, should we also include at-large council there, just to get the number of people who technically represent us included?
All right, let me think about how to make this easiest. How about move to amend at the end, CC Mayor Bowser and members of the council. Is there a second?
Second.
Seconded by Commissioner Sonny. Is there objection to that very short amendment? Seeing none, that amendment is adopted. Back on the resolution, any remaining discussion or debate? Seeing none, we'll proceed to a vote on the letter ANC 5F feedback on fiscal 26 budget priorities as amended. The vote will be aye to adopt the letter and no to not adopt the letter. I will call the roll, starting with Commissioner Headland.
Aye.
Commissioner Headland votes aye. Commissioner Jones.
Aye.
Commissioner Jones votes aye. Commissioner Sonny.
Aye.
Commissioner Sonny votes aye. Commissioner Williams.
I'm gonna go with aye.
Commissioner Williams votes aye. Commissioner Anderson.
Aye.
Commissioner Anderson votes aye. Commissioner Bishop Henchman, I vote aye. Commissioner Galvan.
Aye.
Commissioner Galvan votes aye. The vote is 7 aye, 0 no. The resolution as amended is adopted. I believe that concludes the action agenda. Next item we have is other reports and presentations. I don't think we had any. So we'll proceed to committee and task force updates, starting with the Alcohol and Licensing Committee, the Alcohol and Cannabis Licensing Committee, Ms. Coughlin, if she's present.
Hello, my name is Melissa Coughlin, and I am giving you the update for the Alcohol and Cannabis Licensing Committee. So we have a community feedback form that I will pop into the chat. There's no new responses since the last meeting. This form is just for anybody in the community to give positive or negative feedback on any alcohol or cannabis establishments that will help the committee when renewals or new applications come up. Since our last meeting, there were no new applications for alcohol or cannabis, no renewals for alcohol or cannabis. Right Proper's streetery endorsement was canceled because they didn't renew it. There's been a big effort in the last month or two for streeteries to get re-endorsed and re-registered after the COVID explosion of streeteries. And so Right Proper's on 920 Gerard Street is going away. That's just the extra seating that they have. And then in other significant changes, the opposite of that, Dewdrop Inn at 2801 8th Street did request for their streetery to be re-endorsed. This is the same streetery that they already have. It's 61 seats with service Sunday through Thursday, 10 to 2 a.m., Friday and Saturday, 10 to 3 a.m. This aligns with their existing hours of operations, sales, summer garden, and hours of the streetery. This is Commissioner Williams' district. The committee saw no issues with this change request and recommends no action at this time. And as I said, this is a part of a wave of establishments reapplying for these endorsements. So we expect to see a few more of those. The only other thing, there was a license transfer request for an internet retailer, Prime Barrel, going from the storage facility at 175 R Street to a storage facility at 3521 V Street. Committee work, we haven't been doing anything actively because there's no active applications or renewals, but we do need more people to join our committee, like a lot more people. So anybody who's interested, please reach out to your single member district commissioner or the committee, and we would love to have more folks join us. And then just general ABCA news. The next extended hours holiday program is for DC Emancipation Day. What this is registered establishments can extend alcohol service hours. This will be effective the Wednesday, April 15th through Sunday, April 19th, but establishments have to be registered by Tuesday, March 17th. So if you have establishments in your SMD or in your neighborhood, you can remind them of this, or if you see people operating after hours during the Emancipation Day period, you can check online on the ABCA website to see if they are registered. And that is the update for me. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Coughlin. Questions for the committee? I see Commissioner Williams, Commissioner Sani, and Commissioner Jones. Commissioner Williams?
I just want to do a correction about Dewdrop Inn. That is not my single member district. If I'm not mistaken, that should be Commissioner Sane.
Oh, okay. Thank you. Sorry about that.
That was going to be mine as well.
That was okay?
Yep.
All right.
Commissioner Williams.
Also,
We got Commissioner Williams.
to Melissa, what were your outcome far as Metro Bar? I never saw the update.
Metro Bar, there was no feedback around their hours in their renewal. So there was no action recommended.
Okay.
All right, thank you. Commissioner Sani, that was your question, right?
Yes, my question was around the
on Dewdrop.
Sorry.
Commissioner Jones?
I had a question, and I apologize if we covered this in one of our other meetings. There was signage up for in the previous, oh my gosh, Brooklyn Pint request. Did we find out the reasoning behind that or what the request was?
There was signage. Yeah, so we the new applications, including information for the establishment. So we've had to file FOIAs for that. I filed one and didn't get a response back. I can do another one. But it was posted on the door, but nothing came through the ABCA channel that I saw. So it might have just been that the license holder was renewing and then stopped, but it didn't look like there was a new aspect to it. But if anybody has additional information, please feel free to chime in.
Yeah.
I know there was like some unofficial chatter about what that space might become, but there hasn't been any official action taking. And I would expect for ABCA to reissue a new application or license transfer if that happens or comes to fruition.
Commissioner Sani?
Yeah, I don't think it's, I mean, I think I probably heard the similar chatter as you, Melissa or Ms. Coughlin, but yeah, I don't feel comfortable reading that into the ANC meeting.
All right.
Thank you.
Can't wait to the gossip on that one. Anything else from Ms. Conlon? All right, thank you, and thank you to the committee. Community engagement, Commissioner Headland.
Sadly, I don't have any update on this. I am going to join the public health meeting this Thursday with Mr. Aaron Price and get an update of what they've done on public engagement so far. So I look forward to that. And then I will set meeting dates and recruit some committee members. But for now, if anybody knows any neighbors who might be interested in joining the public engagement committee, I would love to be connected with them.
I think there's a draft postcard to mail the community on our meeting calendar. So awesome. That may be
maybe
coming to your inbox soon.
Yeah. Cool.
All right, questions for Commissioner Headland? All right, next item, Public Safety and Health Committee, Mr. Aaron Price.
Yes, good evening, commissioners and neighbors. What a perfect segue into our update for the Public Safety and Health Committee. So for those joining, my name is Daniel Aaron Price. I am the chair for the Public Safety and Health Committee for ANC 5F. Updates regarding community engagement was top of my list. So again, thank you, Commissioner Headland, for leading the charge for this and getting the committee up and running. So our plan is this Thursday, we are planning on passing off a lot of the strategy that was voted on and adopted by the commission regarding community engagement to Commissioner Headland and her committee for community engagement. So that will be happening this upcoming Thursday at our Public Safety and Health Committee. Public Safety and Health Committee will still be collaborators on anything community engagement wise as well. And we're happy to assist with anything the Community Engagement Committee needs in implementing any of the strategy moving forward or any tabling events and so forth. What we're doing to close out our involvement with community engagement as a committee is we are finalizing that postcard. So we have a design already for it. Commissioner Headland will show you all of the information that's on it as well, and of course get your final approval before the Greater Commission votes that through and sends that forth to the to our neighbors. So that's our community engagement update. In terms of public safety and public health, I know I gave an update at our last general ANC meeting regarding prioritization for the committee. Our committee met in January and we came up with a few priorities for resolutions, especially in support of some key pieces of legislation that's moving forward in DC Council regarding public safety and public health. So just listing off kind of our top priorities in order. First was the Strengthening Air Pollution Permitting Amendment Act and putting a resolution forward for that. Come this upcoming meeting, we are going to be prioritizing a resolution on lead-free DC. Next, we're going to take a look at the Safe Community Places and Policing Amendment Act, introduced by Council Member Janice Lewis-George. And then lastly, for the foreseeable future, we want to look at creating a resolution around supporting funding for 911 modernization and infrastructure. I know we have a couple pieces of resolutions that are on that matter, but we want to do a little bit further of a dive into that. In addition to those four key priorities for resolutions, we do want to try to intersperse some of those bigger resolutions with smaller, more hyper-localized resolutions supporting public safety, public health items. So if commissioners or neighbors have anything that they would like us to prioritize regarding any more hyper-local or local to Edgewood or Eckington area, our committee is more than happy to tackle that. So just opening that door for everyone here. Public health update. Thank you to Commissioner Sani for sponsoring our resolution on strengthening air pollution permitting amendment act. Glad to see that that was passed unanimously through, and we could start the advocacy process, especially pushing this forward, hopefully to a timely public hearing in DC Council, so this can be quickly adopted. And then just leaving folks off, our next meeting again is this Thursday, February 19th from 6 p.m. to 7:30 p.m. in the Judd and Wheeler Eckington Community Room. We also have a virtual option to join for those neighbors that don't want to brave the cold, and that is located on the website. And my public health, public safety tip for everyone is highlighting DC Water and their lead-free DC initiative. So there are many properties that are located, especially in the Edgewood area, along 2nd and 3rd Streets between Adams and Douglas Streets, northeast, that have been identified as having lead pipes. So if you are one of those establishments, or if you are a neighbor in that specific area, I highly recommend going to dcwater.com/resources/lead, and then you can start to fill out a form for DC Water to prioritize your property to replace your lead pipes. This is all for free and funded by our government. Please do so. It's for health and safety reasons, and we'll keep prioritizing that. Happy to take questions from anyone.
Thank you, Mr. Ehrenpreis. Questions for the committee? Commissioner Sani.
Wanted to add something on. Thank you for that, Mr. Ehrenpreis. Wanted to add on to that DC Water lead aspect. I live in Edgewood off Franklin Street, and talking to them, DC Water, they've also said that they're going to be doing some test holes in various parts of Edgewood to validate the places where they've marked off as being lead-free or truly lead-free, like places where the public side of the line is not lead. And so just bumming on to what you said to say, even if you think you might be green on the dashboard like my home is, if DC Water asks you to give sign off on a test hole, I would recommend folks do it. If not, at least get a at-home lead testing kit to validate your water. They are on the hook for restoring your property or wherever they drilled a hole, like on the sidewalk or in the front yard, to as good or better condition. So if you've got a nasty brown patch of grass on your yard like I do, then that might be a cool way to renovate that, but putting it out there.
Thank you. Other questions for the committee? Thank you, Mr. Ehrenpreis. Transportation and Public Space Committee, Commissioner Sani.
Yeah, at the TAPS meeting this month, obviously getting around safely was top of mind, given we were encased in about 6 inches of what is now referred to as snowcrete somehow. It was just normal ice, I think, but there's a lot to kind of bite off, so we started breaking down what our issues were in basically groups of concerns. So we had a discussion around the pedestrian experience, specifically around crosswalks and how routes to arterial corridors like the MBT were challenging to get to from neighborhoods. The other aspects were around improving the plow tracker, where lots of neighbors were pointing out that their roads were being reported as plowed despite not actually being plowed. Also, like getting an idea of where various bike lanes in the community fall on DDOT's bike lane cleanup priority list. Not saying that all of ours should be done first, but we should at least know when we can tell people to expect to safely get to where they need to go on their bikes. And then just improvements to Fuel 1 for like snow and ice removal reporting, trash collection communication, and then just overall public safety, snow clearing communication during emergencies. And then finally, also on Metrobus, where some buses had been advertised as starting at like 6 a.m., but they didn't end up starting until 7 a.m. So also asking WMATA for better communication around that. So these are the kind of the high level things we're going to be working on resolutions for over the next few months. But if folks have any feedback, once again, please feel free to attend our TAPS meetings. They are the first Monday of each month at 7:30 p.m. They're virtual. And if you're unable to do so, please send me an email at 502@anc.dc.gov, and I can make sure to read feedback into our resolution drafting.
Thank you, Commissioner Sani. Questions for the TAPS committee? All right, thank you. Zoning and Development, Mr. Stone. I don't see Mr. Stone. I know Zad didn't meet this month because it was opposite Councilmember Parker's budget forum. So we'll go on to the Library Task Force, Mr. Garnett. I don't see him either. But he emailed an update, which was mainly about the resolution that was adopted this evening. Did I miss any committees or task forces? I think that brings us to the end of the agenda. Is there any business that I've missed? All right, hearing none, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
Move to adjourn.
Moved by Commissioner Sani. Is there a second?
Seconded.
I'm about to say second.
Is there any objection to adjournment? Hearing none, we stand adjourned at 8:06 p.m. Our next meeting will be Tuesday, March 17th. Thank you all.
Good night.
Thank you. Have a good night.